Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel, and if you are new here, hi, my name is Natasha and it's fantastic to have you here. For today's video, we are going to see how best to utilize the new moon in Virgo's partial solar eclipse energy with this reading. This is a pick a card, so we have 4 different piles to choose from, but before we get to it, just know that this is a general reading, take what resonates, and know the intention was there to be a message for you. All right, so all I ask you to do is to get into a calm, quiet space, take a few deep breaths, and allow your intuition to pick the cards for you, or you can go by your zodiac signs. So we have the earth signs here with the mushroom, the air signs here with the feather, the fire signs here with the snake, and the water signs with the stingray at the last one of the pile. All of the timestamps for each group will be down in the description box below, as well as in the pinned comment by yours truly. All right, if you need to pause the video to meditate, you can do so. If not, I will see you in your particular group. Hello, my earth signs, or those of you who chose the ruby zoisite mushroom. We're going to take a look at how best to utilize this energy for the new moon in Virgo partial solar eclipse using the Moonchild Tarot first, and then we've got some astrology oracle cards for more confirmation. All right, first card is going to be the overall message, and we've got Queen of Wands. All right. And this last tarot card is going to be the advice to move through this energy. And we've got the Knight of Wands. Okay. Interesting that they're both facing the opposite direction here. But this message is to really be more confident in not only you, but what you do. This is like a main character syndrome over here in a good way. This is you being independent, you being bold, passionate, standing strong in not only your passions, but your resilience. You know, follow those passions to a degree where you can no longer ignore them anymore. So if you are somebody who's stepping into their creative power, if you are somebody who is wanting to follow a particular path and that you're passionate about, if you are somebody that needs to be more confident in themselves and what they bring to the table, this is your sign to really embolden those characteristics. And I know it's kind of like saying, you know, easier said than done here. You know, what if I don't feel this way? What if I don't, consider myself confident or independent? It's embodying that energy. It is acting as if. So it's kind of like playing pretend with that saying of fake it till you make it. Once you start acting in a certain way and seeing yourself in a new light, you're going to start subconsciously changing how you see yourself. You know, you can make a habit. A habit starts but won't form fully until 30 days usually. So it might be a little slippery at first, but stick with it and see how far you come, see how far you go. But be bold about your talents, about who you are, about what you're about. This new moon is going to help you place those seeds into those new projects that you're wanting to go about. And this is important that you're confident in yourself to do that. Now we have the advice with the Knight of Wands. This is the energy of no fear, no self-doubt. This is confidence on top of confidence and leading yourself that way. Leading with the belief of no limitations. All right. So the Knight of Wands, they're passionate, they're go-getters, they can be hot-headed, but it's the believing in themselves, having no limits on what they can do, like that sheer confidence level that can't be bought, to just go after it, to just keep moving forward. It's like it's been there the whole time for you, and now you got to let the genie out of the bottle. Stop playing small. Now is your time to think big, because this is something that you care about, you're passionate about. You are somebody you care about and are passionate about. It's time to just have no fear. I'm just thinking about all of the crazy, cave spelunking and the people who cliff dive, they have like no fear. They don't believe in limitations. They have a respectful, they respect those elements that they're in, but they have no fear about it because that's the whole point. It's like getting over their fear and doing these crazy base jumpings or, you know, being adrenaline junkies. They crave it and they just do it. I'm not saying go that far, but I'm saying like open up that bit of yourself that maybe you haven't shown the world before, because now's the time. Because if you're not passionate about what you bring to the table, nobody else is going to be, right? You have to be so sure of yourself and so fulfilled with knowledge that this is for you, this is who you are, that other people are going to be drawn to you like a magnet because you fell in love with you, okay? I always say like Queen of Wands is that Beyonce factor where like you just are in her presence and you're like, whoa, like she knows what she's about. So let's dive a little bit deeper here. We've got the Astro Ascension deck. First up, we've got Sagittarius. I seek, dare to be free. Oh my gosh, that's confirming the like the spelunking to me. Adventurous, free spirit, idealistic, bold, optimistic, independent, philosophical, wise, funny, blunt, restless, and reckless. So this is also going to coincide with the Temperance card in the tarot. So there is going to be some balance to this, right? You can't always be fire all the time. Sometimes you got to be a little bit of air. Like there's some things that you kind of have to be in moderation of. There's a nice harmony, a nice balance, right? But this is literally asking you, dare yourself to be free right now. Open up that little part of you that's been locked away and really use this new moon energy, the solar eclipse here, to illuminate, you know, that little part of you and to nudge it out, let it come out. Next, we have Venus, light of beauty, growing in love and abundance. Love, harmony, beauty, sharing, attraction, harmony. We talked about harmony. Artistic taste, desires, passions, values, money, luxury, overindulgence. And this card is coinciding with the Empress. So nurturing yourself, getting those creative sparks, allowing those to flow, like having the fertility moment of producing this project, if that's what it is for some of you, or this incubation time where you find yourself with this new moon and see what you really want to bring out with this Queen of Wands energy. All right, and last from this deck, we have Violet Flame. Transmute that damn energy. Sacred fire, transmutation, alchemy, spiritual acceleration, healing, freedom, karmic release, compassion, and forgiveness. So this might be a time where you are looking inward again and seeing, okay, I'm done playing small. I'm done being meek. I'm done being, shy or not putting myself out there or being scared to be perceived or seen. Now's the time where you transmute that energy into being like, okay, I'm brave enough. I can do this. This is going to accelerate what my goals are by being confident in who I am and what I can do. Okay, so this could be some time where you are healing from past rejection wounds, from things that might have caused you to have self-doubt or play small. Now's the time for you to really transmute that and alchemize that into pushing you forward with momentum instead with this Knight of Wands. All right, next up we have the Heavenly Bodies Oracle. First up, we have House 9 with spiritual growth. So this could be in growth and spirituality, but what I'm using these for is what they're about. So spiritual growth, this could cause some real changes in how you see your own spiritual self, your divine self, and help you transmute those healing energies. We have Leo, so fire energy, self-confidence, loyalty, and creativity. So all things that we talked about, confirming that. Then we have Virgo, you earth signs. So integrity, reverence, and service. So with Virgos, this could also be like confirmation that you're an earth sign or a Virgo, but at the same time, this is like things that you can put into yourself bring out of yourself, if that makes sense. So really focusing on the integrity part, right? Where you know what you're about, and so now your outside matches your insides, you know? Or you can really put that service keyword to use, putting it into yourself and allowing yourself to shine, putting that self-care and that service back into yourself. Grounding is going to be important, especially if this is something that you're not used to, with being bold and confident and independent. But you're an earth sign, you're used to grounding. And last one from this, we got Aquarius, an air sign. So originality, philanthropy, and progressive imaginings. So it could be, again, bringing about your own originality, your own works of art, your own creative passions. And it could be something that's community building. It could be something that changes minds. It could be something that helps out your community or helps out mankind. So the thing of it is if you're scared to put something out there, and you know that it could be beneficial to people, what is stopping you? Are you afraid of judgment, rejection? What is the thing holding you back? Because at the end of the day, all you can do is put it out there and get a response, right? It's kind of like the saying where if you never ask the question, the answer is always no, right? So if you don't do it, somebody else might, and then you're going to look back and regret it. Or if you put it out there and it's fantastic and people love it, what are you going to lose? Nothing, right? You could be completely misinterpreted, but again, that's everybody, right? You put yourself out on social media and you could be perceived 5 million ways and never know. But when you put yourself out there or your projects out there, you will find the people that are meant to find you. Okay? If you don't put it out there, it's like a torch or a lighthouse. You're never going to attract those people. They're never going to see you or see how you can help them or see how, your projects can benefit them and vice versa unless you put your light out. So shine brightly. Okay? And next we have the Star Codes Astro deck with 10th house authority. Take your authority back. With this Queen of Wands, this is independence. Stop worrying about what other people think and how they're going to perceive you. That's none of our business, okay? Your business is just doing what you feel called to do, doing what you're passionate about, doing things that are going to bring good into the world, okay? What other people say or do or talk about you, it doesn't matter. It's none of our business. Our business is to be who we are meant to be who we are supposed to be. All right. Safely, I should add. But calling your power back is going to empower you more to be bold, creative, wonderful, beautiful, independent, confident. And when you take your power back and not allow other people's opinions to dictate what you do, you'll be surprised at how quickly you switch into that Queen of Wands energy. All right. Again, if they're not paying your bills, if they're not putting a roof over your head, if they're not giving you food, putting food on the table, if they are not contributing to your overall well-being, their opinion does not matter, okay? You will find the people that you are meant to find, but they cannot find you until you shine your light. Next one, we have Taurus with cultivate. So yeah, we've got to, again, another earth sign, but cultivate what you want to show, what you want to bring to the table, and nurture it. That Empress energy. Okay. And then again, when you bring all of this together, you're going to, again, magnetize what you want to see happen, bring to the table. Okay. And second house resources. So again, when you are authentically yourself, when you show up and say, this is me, this is what I'm about, this is what I do, this is what I love, that is going to open the doors to bigger and better opportunities for you, because your like is going to attract the other likes. That's what we've been saying here with this magnetism, which in turn is going to bring resources to you, because you're not trying to be somebody else. You are not going into the same mold, right? You are doing something original to you. You are the person who, what is the word I'm looking for. It doesn't matter now. It's gone. You are the originator. You are the one that brings the passion, the boldness to the table to where other people can eat and enjoy. All right? What are these metaphors, Natasha? All right. And last cards, we've got the Cosmic Magic Self-Care. And first one, healing. Okay, so confirming we got to do some healing, some transmutation with that Chiron energy. Next, we have Black Moon Lilith with power. Yeah, taking back your power. And then standing in it. Don't cower back. Don't be like, yo, yeah, this is me. I love myself. And then someone says one negative comment or gives you one critique and you're like, okay, I guess I'm going back to my old job. I guess I'm going to give up on this. No. Stand in your power. Stand up for yourself. Because again, if you don't stand up for yourself and if you're not excited for these things that you do, nobody else is going to do it for you. Stand in your power. Stand in who you are and what you do. And your last one here is the Palace with wisdom. You have the internal wisdom to help guide you, to help move you to the next phase and the next level. All right. Utilize that wisdom, utilize your intuition, and stand in your dang power. All right. Cultivate an identity, right? Sometimes having again, I'm going back to the Beyonce. So with Beyonce, she has that identity, Sasha Fierce, where she just switches it on. Sometimes it helps when you're trying to be more powerful or more in an element that you're uncomfortable in, to have this separate, I shouldn't say separate, but this identity that you can shift into and feel confident there. So that might be something that you look into too, have your own version of Sasha Fierce. But I'm just saying, whatever works for you, you need to stand in your power and own it and be confident in yourself. And this new moon is going to help you release what needs to be released about yourself and plant those seeds that help you be confident and bold in your power. And you need to unlock that genie to where you're not staying in that meek, shy mold anymore, that you can be in that no fear, get rid of the self-doubt, because you know what you do well. You know what you're here to do. And this is the time to start making moves. All right, I hope this resonated. Please let me know if it did, what group you chose down in the comments. I would love to know. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love you and I like you. If you have not done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you will never miss an upload from me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Hello, my group number 2s, or my air signs, or those who chose the feather crystal. We're going to take a look at your Moonchild Tarot first, and then I got some oracle cards from the astrology decks to do some more digging. Okay, so the first overall message for you is this tarot card for this new moon in Virgo, and we have strength. Okay. And then this last tarot card is going to be the advice to move through this energy, and we have 6 of Swords. Okay, so it's time to set your boundaries. It's time to trust yourself with this strength card. It's time to restore your confidence and face your fears. You can navigate any challenges that come your way. You have the experience to do so, and you have the tools to do so. And I think a lot of this feeling like you're not worthy enough, or you're not standing up for yourself enough, or, you know, you're not playing into your strengths, is due to maybe negative self-talk or things that you have thought other people said about you or feel about you, that sort of a thing. Like you are taking their opinions or what they say and really internalizing that, when in fact, those could be your biggest strengths. So the thing about the strength card too is it is such a vulnerable card, but vulnerability is not a negative thing. It's saying, yeah, I've got these things that I need to work on, and I'm being open and honest about that, but That doesn't mean I give up. That doesn't mean I stop. That doesn't mean I stay where I am and don't grow from it. So this is you kind of taking that lion power and bringing that back with this new moon. And, I keep thinking boundaries in my head because there's this need for you to put a boundary in place for certain people or for your own self. Like, boundaries are not necessarily just for other people. It could be for yourself too, where, I'm going to stop thinking like this. I'm going to be working on myself more. I'm going to be more independent. I'm going to be more self-sufficient. I'm going to be more authentic. I'm going to stand in my power. Those are boundaries too. And don't let anybody cross over that and prevent you from feeling you are good enough or strong enough, etc. Like, you are resilient. But now is your time to take that resilience and give it softness, if that makes sense. Like, you can be strong in the sense of your resilience and how you overcome obstacles and challenges, but you can also be soft with it and understand that, you do have a tender belly and you can show your softer side to other people and yourself, but still maintain those boundaries. Hopefully that makes sense. So having more self-confidence, more confidence in your skill set, and more confidence to speak up for yourself and stand for yourself with this new moon in Virgo. I feel like you're going to release a lot of those negative self-talks and a lot of the toxicity in your relationships. Maybe it's coworkers, maybe it's your job as a whole, maybe you are doing some reorganizing within how you want to go about your day-to-day. But all that to say is you are finally releasing a lot of things that are no longer serving you with this Six of Swords as your advice. So this is saying there's a release happening. There's a change and a transition happening. It's kind of like a new period for you that you're going into, especially with this being a new moon phase. This is a perfect opportunity for you to start moving into your strength phase and allowing the negativity and the toxicity to release. Because this is saying you're on to greener pastures, you're on to calmer waters, but you got to get out of this cycle of negativity and toxicity and not feeling worthy enough, not feeling good enough, not feeling like you can put those boundaries in place. Shedding layers. This is, maybe a reorientation of how you see yourself or see your situation going. But absolutely calmer waters. Get rid of the negative circle of talk. You can be like, why do I always do this? Or I always feel like I can't do enough, or blah, 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 blah. Those are not doing anything in your favor. That's only weighing you back down. So instead you can say, okay, well, I messed up this time, but you know what? It's easy. I got this. I can move forward. Reorient the way that you talk to yourself internally. That's going to make a huge difference in how your strength plays out. But yeah, I see this new moon being a transition phase for you into being more bold, being more confident, being more assertive, and trusting yourself. And also, be mindful about how you go about this. Nobody around you really needs to know your business, right? I keep thinking of the swords as a suit of the fact that it's air. It is communication and thought. And so be mindful with how you go about communicating your successes or what you're doing, because you never know who might, want to sabotage your new coming out of your cocoon. This feels very much like a butterfly that's gone into their chrysalis and is coming out this big, beautiful butterfly. Did I say a caterpillar going into the chrysalis and coming out a butterfly? You're going to be this new version of yourself if you just allow it and get rid of the stuff that is no longer serving you. I know I say that a lot, but it's true. Get rid of the things that aren't doing you any service and embrace the things that you want to be more of, have more of. If you want to be more confident, start acting more confident in little ways, right? Sometimes it's a fake it till you make it situation. Honestly, you guys should, after this, probably watch group number 1's too, just because there's a similar vibe here. between the messages. So there might be more in there for you as well. But yeah, keep moving, keep going forward, keep processing, and keep emboldening yourself, taking your power back, and just knowing how strong you are. Okay. And I get it. We're tired of being strong all the time. We're tired of being resilient. We're tired of having to continuously keep moving on and dredging. But this isn't necessarily that. It's taking what we've learned and now acting in a way that makes more sense for you. Putting those boundaries in place will help with that feeling of like, I'm always having to be the strong one. Okay. So why are you always having to be the strong one for certain people in your life? They can help you out too. That's part of being vulnerable as well, right? So it's kind of like this harmony situation. And again, we have 6 here. So we've got this harmony of needing to balance things out too, right? With relationships, with how your day-to-day routine goes. And again, with those dang boundaries. I'm sorry I keep saying that, but like that is what is yelling in my brain right now. Is a lot of you really need to either start putting them in place, or you need to kind of start implicating and rearranging the boundaries that you have already going. Like they're slipping a little bit. It's kind of like a ward in magic where it's kind of like, oh, that ward is starting to need to be refreshed. Put those refreshments on your boundaries as well. Okay, let's keep it moving. We're going to start your oracle cards with the Astro Ascension deck. First up, we've got 6th house, so 6 again, everyday life matters, work and health, and the cards in the tarot that it coincides with is the Hermit and the Magician. So we got job, coworkers, daily routine, lifestyle, habits, responsibilities. So again, we talked about maybe we need to change our routines up. Maybe we need to figure out how we go about those in a new way. So this is more confirmation with that. But then we also have the Hermit and the Magician. We talked about you already having the skills and the experience to embody this strength card, right? That's Magician material. And then the Hermit is going within. And sometimes we have to take a little break of solitude. We have to really take a time out to understand what's going on with our emotions, to feel them, to process them. We have to understand what our habits are. And sometimes we have to go within to do that because a lot of our habits too are subconscious. We don't realize that the habits are actually habits until we recognize that they're habits. And then we need to start making a choice of whether we still want to do those habits or move on from them, right? Habits take 30 days to acquire and maintain. After those 30 days, it's a natural subconscious thing, right? For most people, I'll say. So when you understand that, okay, I can break a habit, this is fine, then you start implementing new ways of living your life. So again, fake it till you make it. You know, if you want to be a better public speaker, fake it till you make it. Do it scared. And again, that's part of that strength, is having, again, that vulnerability inside, understanding that that's okay to feel scared, to feel unsure, but on the surface, you do it anyway. You try anyway. And so this might be an area of your life that the strength card is showing up for. Next, we have South Node, past lifetimes. What does that say? You got this. Baggage, karma, past, unfinished business, soul wounds. So again, we're talking about releasing all of those things and moving forward. We don't need the past drama. We don't need the toxicity, right? Just move forward. Let it go. I know, again, easier said than done, but stick with me. Once you start doing a little bit, it's like clearing out your closet. Sometimes those memories, we want to hold on to those items because of those memories, but we got to let them go. It's taking up too much space. That dress that you haven't worn in 10 years, do you still want to wear it? If you haven't worn it in 10 years, let it go. Same with these situations, people. If they're people that are causing you nothing but stress and chaos, why are you still maintaining that relationship, right? So sometimes it's okay, again, to put yourself first. Self-mastery. Then we've got Jupiter, light of wisdom, lucky you. So this coincides with the Wheel of Fortune. luck, growth, expansion, abundance, faith, hope, blessings. When you step into you authentically, you're going to see how much more you expand and grow. How many opportunities are going to come through to you. The Wheel of Fortune says, okay, it's time to turn the wheel. We're done playing small. We're done with the negativity, the toxicity. We're done with that cycle. And now we're turning the wheel into a more positive, more strength, more substance time. Okay, this is your time. And your last one for this is Mercury, light of the messenger. Clear your mind, communication, mind, thoughts, intellect, information, reason, memory, perception, opinions, ideas, lying, trickery. And then we have the card, the magician that it coincides with. Again, another magician. Communicate your needs, communicate your boundaries, right? Communicate to yourself more, talk to yourself more. Again, go internally to see where your needs aren't being met. Mercury is a great planet of allowing your voice to be projected, right? Sometimes we need to tackle our thoughts because sometimes what we think is not necessarily what is, right? Our perception can be definitely skewed, right? Because I can perceive you in a way that I think you're wonderful, amazing, strong, independent, but you can perceive yourself as this meek, mild, shy, codependent person. So shift your perspective, shift how you feel about yourself and how you think about yourself. Stand in your power, okay? All right, next we've got the heavenly bodies. First up, we've got mutable, surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. We've got that transition confirmation. Also, we've got some air signs in there too. Jupiter. Oh, we got another Jupiter. Grow and expand. Okay, so more confirmation there. This is a time of growth for you. This is a new cycle. Next, we got Aries. Independence, bravery, and passion. I know that I've mentioned independence, and it's brave to stand in your power and be authentically yourself. It's brave to be vulnerable. So this fire energy is actually going to help you. And this is giving me Leo vibes. So like very shine bright, very like stand in your own light. And once you have your light, you'll attract other people to your light that are just like you. So very, very much fire here. So some of you may need to utilize that to bring back that fire in your belly, that spark. But yeah, be passionate about this new change. And then we have Pluto with transform. So again, more confirmation of this change and transformation. Next, we've got the Star Codes Astro deck. First up, Capricorn with achieve. So what is this going to do for you? How are you going to achieve your goals? And when you achieve them, what are you going to do about it? Are you going to stand in your power, or are you going to turn back away? Are you going to hold your boundaries, or are you going to walk away? Capricorns are methodical. They are very systematic. Think of the banking system. Think of government. It's a very strategic energy. So this is like a vibe of wanting to achieve the best for yourself, wanting to access that. Be the, now the Pokemon song is in my head. I want to be the very best. The best that ever was. You cannot do that if you're stuck being small, meek, and mild. I'm sorry for the pop culture references that pop in, but that's just how my guides relay information. So then we have Leo with shine, which we literally got done talking about Leo energy. Okay, so we're not going to go back there. And then we got Mars with motion, take action. And again, we have that like masculine drive to be the divine masculine, I should say, drive of achieving, of doing, of the motivation, taking inspired action. All right. And your last cards here are going to be the Cosmic Magic Oracle. First up, we've Aries. Okay. Again, more Aries confirmation. But again, this one says beginning. So this is a new cycle, like we said, with that Wheel of Fortune. This is a turning point for you. This is a new phase, a new moon phase, a new cycle. This is a beginning of you standing in your power, leading yourself. Okay. Aries is the first sign of the zodiac. This is you starting over, you being a new. Next, we've got Venus with love. Love yourself. Be compassionate. Okay. Venus is also about beauty and aesthetics and pouring into yourself. So love yourself. Be compassionate. Give yourself grace with, the fact that it's taken this long or that it's a hard road to stand in your power, to be this way. But it's all for the highest good for you because you love yourself. You love what you're doing. You love who you are. And last, we've got South Node again. Karma. We gotta clear the past. We gotta clear and forgive that. Okay. So it's not necessarily like you've got this big karmic baggage, that you're carrying on, but it's just like, hey, like we got to get rid of what's toxic, what's going on. Like maybe you did do things in the past. Get rid of it. You forgive yourself. You move forward. You move through it. You work through it. You process it. Maybe you aren't the same person who you were last month. That's okay. That's how we move forward. That's how we learn, how we grow, how we expand. All right. So again, don't be so hard on yourself. Pour back the love. Look at yourself with compassion and beauty and just self-love. All right. So I know this was a little bit deeper than like a new moon reading usually is, or a full moon, but I feel like this is a very important message to like really be in your strength, be in your power, be authentically who you are. And like I said earlier, go and check group number 1 if you feel called to for like a more expanded message, but if I feel like those fit here. All right. With that being said, thank you so much for being here today. I love you and I like you. If you have not done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you will never miss an upload from me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Hello, my group number 3s, those that are the fire signs, or if you chose the Howlite Snake. We're going to take a look at your Moonchild Tarot first, and then we've got some Astro cards to get a little bit more confirmation and deeper look at. Okay, so first tarot card is going to represent the overall message for this new moon in Virgo, partial solar eclipse. The message is Judgment. Oh, okay. And the last tarot card is going to represent the advice to move through this energy. We've got the Queen of Cups. Okay. So this new moon, we are doing a reflection period with this Judgment card. We are tapping into healing. We are tapping into clearing. And we are tapping into clarity. So I do feel like there needs to be some forgiveness as well with this reflection, some self-forgiveness. I think these eclipses especially this season, has been very, I don't want to say harsh, but like it's dredging up a lot, right? So we're now seeing who we were, what we've done, and who we want to be and move forward with, right? So we're getting that clarity. We're doing the reflection. So this could mean like this new moon phase deep into shadow work, right? Journaling, questioning, remembering, working through, processing, crying, healing. The Judgment card is like taking a mirror to yourself and really kind of inspecting. So what do you want to bring with you this new cycle, this new phase? What do you want to leave behind? There's a lot of needing to let go and move through and process. And this has been really a message for the previous groups as well. But we've got to let go of things that aren't for our highest good anymore. We've got to let go. My stomach's growling. I'm sorry if you heard that. We've got to let go of things that are not in our highest good, not in our best interest, because ultimately that's what's going to hold us back. That's what's going to tether us from growth, from expansion, from learning, from healing. You know, if you're around somebody who is consistently negative, consistently complaining, nothing ever goes right for them, nothing is ever good enough, they're always the victim, they're always having a bad day, what does that do to you? It makes you fall into that, right? It makes you feel like everything is going wrong, or it's just really annoying and you want to move away from it, right? What in your life needs to go personally? Personally, what habits are you doing? What cycles do you need breaking? What things do you need healing? And this is the time to reflect and work through that. Judgment kind of is a deep card. Sometimes it's very calm and graceful and compassionate. And sometimes when you get that judgment card, it is very much a wake-up call. So this is the time where you look in that mirror and you're like, okay, this is my wake-up call. This is what I'm no longer doing anymore, what I need to work through, what I need to move through. This eclipse season has not been very gentle. So this seems to be more of a, we need to do the work, we need to heal now. We need to process, and we need to do so for our own benefit. And then with the advice card, it's this Queen of Cups energy of very much self-care. So being compassionate to yourself with this self-forgiveness, with this healing, with this newfound clarity, right? Self-care is important. You can't just, break yourself down and not pour back into yourself, right? You need to actually make sure you're treating yourself as you would a loved one, as you would, your children, very much with tender, loving care, as well as nurture the new aspects that you want to bring to the forefront, the new way that you want to be, the new you. Nurture those seeds. Because again, the new moon, that's all about what are we planting to harvest later? What are we going to do now? Put in the work now, so that way we can reap the rewards later. And also, this is a very highly emotional suit. So you might be seeing yourself cry a lot more. You might be working through a lot of emotions, and that's okay. Because again, you're putting that compassion back. You're giving yourself that space to do so, that time to do so. Listen to your intuition too. The Queen of Cups is highly intuitive. So there might be things that your intuition says that you need to do. Try doing them. Follow what your gut is saying. If your gut says, I really need to journal my thoughts right now, or I need to have a conversation that's important right now, follow it. Your gut is going to lead you in the right direction. I'm not saying, be bold and just, be impulsive. What I am saying is, if your gut is leaning you to do something, or to, have a conversation, or, release something, this is the time to do so. Go inward, go within, nurture, heal is the big one here. And reconnect to yourself. Because I feel like sometimes we have neglected our healing, neglected our processing for survival, or just to get through the day, that we disconnect from ourselves, from our own divineness, right? So this is saying, come back to yourself, nurture yourself. Self-care is not just about taking bubble baths and reading a book with a glass of wine. Self-care is also doing the hard thing. Self-care is okay, I'm going to get up. I'm going to have a routine. I'm going to stick to it. I am going to, care for myself in a way that makes me feel worthy, that makes me feel seen, that makes me feel healthy. Self-care is not always going to be gentle. Self-care can be something that is motivating. Listen, I don't want to work out. I don't want to get sweaty. I don't want to be in pain. But I know that I'm getting older and I need my joints to work when I'm 80. So I'm going to do the workouts, right? I'm going to stretch. So sometimes self-care is putting your best interests first and following that routine. Okay? All right. Nurture yourself. Love yourself. It's reflection period. All right. Let's keep going. We got the Astro. Oh, gosh. What is it called? The Astro Ascension deck. First up, the Masters with 33. Sacred support. Blessings, expansion, increase, fertility, positive results, talent, skills, mastery, teacher, inspiration, ascended masters. So, yeah, the Judgment card itself is one away from being completed in the sequence of the major arcana. So, you're on your way to expansion here because you're reflecting upon what worked, what didn't work. You have support in your spirit team as well as your on-earth support too. Call on them too if you need that help. But you're looking at yourself and seeing what it needs to be healed, what needs to move forward, etc. And that in and of itself is an expansion. So it kind of is one of those things where if you need support of the external kind, not just within yourself, call upon it, but you have the support that you already need to move through this. Oh my gosh, more angel numbers. 444, divine progress, intuition, inner wisdom, higher guidance, clarity, stability, foundations, fulfillment, angelic support, practicality. So confirming everything that we said. Next, we've got Capricorn, I achieve. The card here is the devil that it is coinciding with, and it says stay the course. So ambitious, driven, hardworking, serious, honest, loyal, determined. Okay, but then we also got workaholic, greedy, and pessimistic. So that devil card can show up in your life as attachments, as habits that are not working for you, people, toxic situations. So we need to release those things, right? We need to not have those attachments in order to heal and move forward. Stay driven, stay honest, and stay loyal to yourself as well. All right. Then we got the moon, light of the feminine, sacred wisdom. So deepest feelings, thoughts, inner world, instinct, intuition, needs, habits, moods. We talked about all of this already. And then the card that it is associated with is the high priestess. So very intuitive, understanding going within, understanding your feelings, very intuitive. So more confirmation with all of that. Okay. Next, we're going to look at the heavenly bodies. We've got Venus. Give and receive love, find value, and see beauty within yourself. Okay. Next, we've got House 8 with transformation, karma, facing fears, and legacy. So sometimes, like I said earlier, we're facing our fears when we're facing ourselves, right? We have that reflection period with judgment. The reason why it's called judgment, right? Because we're judging ourselves. And, you know, we don't care about what others think about us if they're not paying our bills, if they're not putting food on the table and a roof over our head, right? Right. So this is saying we're facing our fears and then we're going into a transformation afterwards because we're healing. All right. And next we have fire, which confirms the group here, but as well as confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. So taking that fire and running with it when you're going through that healing process, you have to have the optimism to see the light at the other side and have that bravery to move through it, to take the action, to actually do it. And confidence is going to be your best friend. All right. Next up, we have the Star Codes Astro deck. We've got the moon. So this one has perception because, again, we go through phases. So this is a new way of looking at yourself, a new way of seeing yourself and your situation. And again, listening to your intuitive thoughts and your feelings, processing them. And we got South Node, past. We are taking a look at the past, but we're moving away from it. We're moving through it, right? We're moving toward the future. All right. What is done is done. It's not paying our bills anymore. We're moving forward. It's not helping us anymore to relive the past. We are moving from it. And your last one from this deck is 8th house again with mystery. So I think you're going to uncover a lot of yourself when you're going through this transformation. You're going to see maybe things are going to be unlocked for you. I'm getting the imagery of like a key in a like a trunk. So I think that there's a lot of baggage, a lot of things that maybe you tucked away and stored away because you weren't ready to process it, or you weren't ready to work through it. Maybe there was a lot of cringe or shame or those feelings involved. And now you're like, I got to work through it. I got to unlock it. I got to really undo this mystery. Scooby-Doo gang it, right? So I think you're going to see that you're going to come out from the other side of this in a more refreshed feeling. You're going to connect to your own divinity again. You're going to connect to your own healing, and your intuition is going to come out stronger because you're learning to listen to those little nudges. Okay. Your last card grouping here is the Cosmic Magic Oracle. The moon. Okay. So this is one where you got to really pay attention to the moon. Okay. You got to work through this phase, and you got to really listen to your intuition and your divine feminine. Take care of yourself. All right. Cycles. So again, you're moving into a new cycle, a new beginning, a new you. All right. We all go through phases. We all do. And this is your next turn of the phase, your next cycle. Okay, then we've got last quarter with release. We already talked about releasing. We no longer need those things. And Mars with action, taking that inspired action and really moving forward with it. So hopefully this made sense. Hopefully it did. If it really did, let me know what group you chose down in the comments. It's always really cool to see what resonated with everyone. So I know that this is a little bit more of a internal reading. It feels like all of these groups have been more internal, more focused on, working through things. So if that's the case, if any of the other groups you feel drawn to, look at them, maybe check them out, see if any of the messages in there resonate with you as well. So with that being said, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love you and I like you. If you have not done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you will never miss an upload from me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye. Hello, my water signs, or those of you who picked group number 4, or if you picked the Stingray. We're going to take a look at your message today for the new moon in Virgo, partial solar eclipse. So we've got the Moonchild Tarot that we're going to look at first. Then we got some oracle astrological decks that we're going to take a look with further or deepering the message. Okay, so this first card is going to be the overall message, and we've got Justice. Okay. Oh, Justice. And next we have the tarot card that's going to be the advice to move through this energy, and we have 8 of Wands. Okay. So with this new moon, we are getting back to our own internal compass. All right. We are figuring out what our integrity is, where we want to go, what we want to do with it, our moral compass as well. We're getting to the truth of the matter, and we're staying in balance. All right. With justice, this sort of truth is important. We want to stay in our own integrity. We want to stand in our truth and know the truth. And so I feel like this is important because in the world today, there's a lot of craziness, right? So stand in your integrity. Okay. And then the scales here with the balancing, I really need you to get rid of the things that are weighing you down. That's been a key thing for each of the groups, is like we're getting rid of things. This is the time where we do shadow work. This is the time where we heal. And this is the time where we release things that are no longer serving us. And with justice, it asks us to be fair. It asks us to balance our life out, but with fairness and with truth. So what are the things that are making your life inverted and imbalanced? All right. What little white lies are you telling yourself to comfort yourself and to move through life easier? Right. What are those things that you're like, okay, well, I'm just going to turn a blind eye to this so I can make it through the day. Right. stand in your integrity, stand in your power, and then make sure that you're being fair not only to yourself, but to your situations, right? So it's like if you were just going along with the crowd, right? And you're like, I know this is wrong. I know this isn't working. I know this isn't right for me, but I'm just, going along with it because I have to. There's going to be a breaking point where you can no longer do that because your integrity is louder than the masses. The truth is louder than what you're saying. So now is the time where you really look at what is going on in your realm, in your reality, that you can balance out. Look for the truth. Look for your similar integrities and morals. Okay? But be fair. Don't like all or nothing it right now. You have to, it's a balancing act, right? It's a very big balancing act. You got to weigh the scales appropriately. Okay, but we're looking for harmony. We're looking for balance this new moon. We're looking to stand in our integrity and we're being in our truth. And the advice here is this Eight of Wands, which is very much a action card where we felt maybe we were stuck. We are now moving through. We are unstuck. We are moving forward. And it's going to be quick. You're going to start realizing things very quick that are no longer in alignment with you. And you can no longer be in that anymore because it's like, no, that's not where I stand. That's not what I'm about. That's not the truth. That's not fair. All of those things in your life where that has been going on. The Eight of Wands is going to be like, nope, we're moving it. We're done. We're seeing things clearly now. And that's the thing. This is a transition. This is a movement. This is change. This is action. Some of you might be doing travel to kind of clear your head or to find where you need to be for this new phase of you, like what makes most sense for you. So you might be like moving to a new city, you might be moving to a new state, a new country, or you might be taking a job in one of those places. There's something for some of you about moving places, like a travel situation. And it could be like, okay, I need a vacation to clear my head. Could be that too. But I wanted to mention that because that came up in my head. But listen to your intuition. There's moons in both of these, so I feel very called to tell you to listen to your intuition when it comes to that. Listen to your internal mind. There's going to be a new way of which you see yourself and view yourself because it's all about balance, fairness, and truth. But yeah, this Eight of Wands asks you to take that inspired action. When you feel called to do something, do it. When you feel called to move to something or move through something, heck, to move to something, do it. But whatever has been making you feel like you are stuck, it's going to be unstuck very quickly. Things are going to start making sense. Things are going to start changing. And it's your job to kind of ride the wave of the change. And I feel like this has been, again, one of those things that has been a predominant message in every group is this big change. There's this new change and this new transition, this new transformation for each of you guys. So I feel like you guys are changing and moving into your own truth and integrity, and you're balancing your life out. You're healing through that. All right. And this Eight of Wands is just like, yeah, it's going to happen quickly, and you need to ride the wave. You need to catch it, and we're going. Usually the wands look like they're in the Rider-Waite-Smith decks. They're like across the artwork, like they're moving like arrows, right? They're like shot like arrows. They're moving quickly, and it's your job to kind of like hold on tightly to move with it because it's going to advance you into this next cycle. When you stand in your truth, sometimes it's very hard to do so. When you stand in your own truth and integrity, things fall away that are no longer aligned for you, that are no longer working for you, right? When you're authentic with who you are and what you stand for, the things that were false with how do I want to put it? The things that were not in alignment for your own truth and own integrity and your own morals, they're going to start falling away because you are no longer entertaining that. You are no longer having that be in your frequency. So now when you're like, okay, these people are not for me anymore. They don't, agree with what I'm saying. They aren't taking my myself into consideration. They're not, they're just toxic, whatever. Or same with your work, same with the situation, same with your environment. If it's not sitting right with you anymore, if it's not feeling good, if it's not feeling like it's in alignment with you, when you start saying, no, I'm worth more than this. I'm better than this. I am not of this frequency. This is not working for me. Watch how things fall away. Watch how things start working out and opportunities come to you because you're being fair and honest with yourself. This is a time of deep honesty, all right? When the Justice card comes out, especially with this eclipse energy and Virgo, very much honesty, all right? Okay. Honest with yourself is hard. It can be hard. Sometimes we build these, systems in our head of how we see things to survive and move forward, right? Or to, turn a blind eye, but now is not the time for that. Now is the time for you to be like, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. And everything that's not for that, gone, done. All right. So we've got the Astro Ascension deck. First card, we've got Virgo, I learn. And the card associated with it is the Hermit. So we have life improvements. Absolutely. We love this. So grounded, self-reliant, resourceful, smart, practical, analytical, good planner, perfectionist, critical, overthinker, picky. The Hermit card is also the card of going within. This has been in another group, I think 2 groups previously. So going within and really figuring out what you're about, who you're about, what you stand for. You have an internal light, and now is the time to kind of see where your lantern or your torch is guiding you. And this being in your truth and knowing what you're about and being fair to yourself is going to show you more improvement. You're going to learn more about yourself. You're going to see things a little bit more clearly. And again, that's going to allow this stuck energy that maybe you've been stuck in for a while to be unglued, to get ungunked and move forward. Andromeda with the high vibration. We were talking about frequency. Okay, so magic and miracles, heart-centered, highly gifted, creative, imaginative, intuitive, freedom seeker, teacher, healer, balanced, and yin and yang. So again, we're talking about standing in your truth and your integrity. That's high vibrational stuff, okay? Anything that's not going to work in your alignment will fall away because you're standing in your authenticity and in your truth. And this will allow you to feel more grounded, feel more balanced, feel more like yourself. So staying in that high vibration, so to speak, with this card, you're going to see more amazing things happen because you're now on alignment with who you truly are. You're going to see blessings happen and miracles happen because you are no longer in a false identity. You are no longer, pretending to be something that you're not. You're no longer stressing because now you're having a balanced day to day. You're more grounded. You're more reliable. You're more feeling more like yourself, right? Things are falling into place because you know where you stand and what you need and what you don't need. Next, we've got Cancer. The Chariot card is the sister card, and then it says, I feel. So you guys are water signs if you pick this. Your intuition knows the way. Okay, then we got nurturing, sensitive, caring, loyal, creative, protective, vulnerable. The Chariot is about moving forward as well. Being confident to take charge and stay determined to move forward. 8 of Wands, moving forward. You can feel all of the feels as well, right? Like you don't have to shove them down. This is the time to work through all of those feelings. Cry it out. Rage journal. Scream into a pillow. But this is the time where you really go within, Hermit, and find where you need to heal, what you need to release. And next we've got Uranus with light of illumination, the Fool card, a shaky rebirth. So again, this might be uncomfortable, but this is a new beginning for you. So we have sudden and unpredictable changes, upheaval, rebellion, breakthroughs, awakening, liberation, raw genius. So again, new beginning with the Fool, leaping, taking a leap of faith here, but understanding that this is a new change, a new cycle for you. And again, this has been for everybody, every group too. New moon means new phase, new moon phase, right? It's a brand new cycle. So this is a new cycle for you to really tap into what you're about. And again, it might be a little hard for some people. It might be a little rough, a little shaky, but you're going to come out of it better. You're going to come out of it more aligned. Okay. Some of you might be going through a spiritual awakening, might be going through like a dark night of the soul too, because you're understanding the illusions that were in your reality and they're slipping away. And you're like, well, these were my tethering points. These were what I knew to be my life. And now everything is different and changed and I don't know what to do. It'll be okay. Follow what you know to be true, what your internal compass is. Okay. Next, we have the heavenly, Astro heavenly bodies. First up, we have Scorpio, another water sign. Intensity, exposing, purging, and renewing. Don't have to go into that deeper. House 1 with individuality, self-image, and an approach to life. So this could be something that, again, confirms the fact that you need to stand in your authenticity and who you are and what you're about. But this is like a focus now. This is like where this justice needs to be prioritized, is how you see yourself, how you see what you bring to the table, and your approach to what you do day to day, what you're about. So again, like I said, some of you might be going through a spiritual awakening, and that's okay. You'll come out of it better. You might look like you've been electrocuted, but you came out of it better. And next we've got the Sun, self-express and embodying truth. The Sun is such an illuminator too. It shows you where you need to heal, what you're about. The Sun is, again, where your house 1 is, if I'm correct. Don't quote me yet. The information just went out of my brain. But the Sun is illuminating, and it's about vitality. It's about, your divine masculine and how you express yourself. So again, you got to stand in your truth. And your last one here is the Moon. So we got duality as well. The balance the scales. So we have satisfy emotional needs, nurture self and others, and again, more water. So yeah, you might be going through it a little bit this new moon, but that's okay. That's okay. I don't want to scare you. I don't want you to feel overwhelmed. I know a lot of you have seen this coming for a while, that nothing really sat right. You needed to adjust. You needed to look within. And, you were tired of seeing a lot of things not in your truth, right? So don't be scared. It will all come out for the best. I don't see any negative cards, okay? And next we have the Star Codes Astro deck with third house communication. So this goes back with embodying your truth and seeking the truth and standing in your integrity, communicating that. It might also mean you need to step into having more boundaries and communicating those. Communication is going to be important for how you navigate this too. So not everybody needs to know your business, but everybody can have a boundary. Like you could communicate your needs, communicate your boundaries, communicate your truth. And next we've got Jupiter with abundance. See? Expansion, growth, love, more blessings coming to you. Love this. Imum coli with root. You're going to get to the root of the problem, and then you're going to establish roots with this. Okay? Ground yourself as well. Sometimes I think of grounding when I do it as my energy is taking root and rooting into the center of the earth, going all the way through, and allowing the earth energy to come back up and ground me. That's what I think of when I see this card. It's very much getting back to the root of who you are and grounding yourself. And your last one of this deck is Libra with balance. Confirming the Justice card, because that is a Libra card. Awesome. We don't need to dive deeper into that. Next and last, we've got the Cosmic Magic Oracle. We've got Intuition with Pisces, more water signs. Listen to your intuition. Let it let it drive you to your next step, okay? Let it guide you. Then we got Pluto with Death, but it's also a rebirth, okay? The old past is gone. The old cycle is done. The old you is gone, and now you're moving into a new one, okay? It's transforming, okay? We got a new cycle, a new you. Let what doesn't work die. And then we've got Gemini with Curiosity, which also coincides with the communication in the third house card over here. So what do you feel drawn to in yourself that needs realignment? What needs adjusting? What needs to be healed? What needs to be in the truth? Find that and then communicate it. This is also very much of the mind and how you think about yourself and what you think about. So again, standing in your truth is very much like, what do you see? What can you navigate about yourself that you need to shift gears into? Okay. Hopefully all of this resonated. If it did, please let me know what group you chose down in the comment section. And I implore you to see if any of the other groups you feel called to as well. Maybe you do like a rising, a moon, and a sun reading, because there's similar messages tied throughout these groups. So, which makes sense because we're collective. But I implore you, check them out if you want to check them out. And again, thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I love you and I like you. If you haven't done so already, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell on your way out of this video. That way you will never miss an upload from me. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you in my next video. Bye-bye.